Okay, little char wood experiment here. Got my little sterno camp burner out, and I've got some pieces of hardwood here in the little daisy pellet container. We're going to I'm going to do this with one hand. Screw the lid down on that. Okay. And we're just going to take this and set it right on top of the sterno. And now, the way it works when they make char cloth, which is right here, and this is my favorite fire starter, is I take, this is some old terry cloth, washcloth that I've cut into 2 chunks, and this is your pellet container. Sorry about that, but you just take the terry cloth, put it in the container, and we're going to make char cloth out of this here shortly. As you can see, the smoke is starting to come out of the wood. You see the smoke coming out? See if we can like that. See if that's actually wood gas coming off there. Is it lighting? No. So it's not wood gas, it's just smoke. Yeah, I haven't tried this on actual char wood like this before, but I thought that I would give it a try there. I don't know how long this will take. It's like watching paint dry, I'm sure. Char cloth is really fast. I haven't really timed it. That's one reason for leaving the camera running through this right here. And I know these don't hold a lot with these little Crossman pellet containers, but they're really compact. I'm going to try using a couple different ones in a pack here, and I don't know if I really have a need. The char cloth and a little bit of cotton with birthday candle on it is usually all I need for a day out on the trail or a couple nights in the woods to get a fire going. Usually when you start a fire, unless you're on the trail, you don't let it go out. So right now since I started this, about 4 minutes. Thought we might get both of these non-stop so I don't have to edit them. It's smoking good now, isn't it? Char cloth is such an amazing thing, and haven't actually used the char wood myself, but I've seen it used, and it seems like it may be a viable tinder source. Small, compact, easy to carry. Might have a little bit more substance to it, maybe to get a tender bundle or something that's a little harder to deal with. Yeah, don't worry, I've got my battery out of my smoke alarm, and I've got a vent open, so I'm not going to be... Oh, there, the wood gas just burnt. Wood gas just caught fire. So now we're essentially making charcoal. That's fairly interesting. I don't know if I should let that burn all the way out. I guess that's the reason we test this stuff, to find out, don't we? As soon as it goes out, I think I'm going to knock that off of there and put the other can with the char cloth in it. A lot of this bushcraft or just survival stuff is really not really complicated. That's hickory, so I mean it's got a lot of BTUs in it. I don't know whether to let that... I think it's dying down just as soon as that goes out. I'm going to call that one good. Smoke has, I mean, there's no smoke at all now. Very, very little, if any. It's just wood gas and it's burning off. The flame coming up from the far side of it over here is, okay, there it is, that's gone. Let's take this big old blade right here and dump that off, and we'll call that good. Now we're going to set, this is the tin with just the terry cloth washcloth in it. That's just a little homemade pot stand. I carried my trail kit there with a homemade alcohol burner. But the little sterno stove right there is kind of always been my go-to. You can get 4 or 5 hours. Okay, here we come with the starting the off gas, but a lot of that's going to be the paint burning off of that can. But I'd use a new one here. I go through a lot of pellets. A CO2 pellet pistol to keep the squirrels and stuff out of my fruit trees. Not that it does a whole lot of good, because the pistol I've got doesn't hurt them. The dog does better at keeping them out, but she can only be there so often. So it's starting, if you can see down there on the side right there, it is starting to burn some of the gases off of it now. So right now we're in just under 9 minutes since I started this video, and we are almost done with 2 tins of char. That is almost cooled off enough that I can open it already. So I'll be opening that here hopefully before this char cloth is done. Yeah, it's very little actually paint on them cans. I don't know what that actually is on it, some kind of paint I suppose. But, so this would be very easy to do in a survival situation with a couple of tins like this in your pack, or with a cotton t-shirt or whatever. I just find these old terry cloth wash rags. I mean, we've all got them. When they get some wear on them, instead of throwing them away, I run them through the washer and put them up. And they have been good for lots of uses. But a little tin with that much char cloth in it will keep you going. I mean, for starting small fires, small tin bundles. This right here, look, I've used quite a bit of my char cloth out of there. I mean, there's usually 6 or 8 pieces in there, and there's like 3 pieces left. And that little bit of cotton there with, as you can see, candle wax on. Now that stuff there lights like, I don't know what to, it's kind of amazing how it lights actually. Now this can here is, if I can get it unscrewed here, see how dexterous I am with my feet. Go back to plan B here. Okay. What we in essence have right here is charcoal. Look at this. And look there. Just anything. Look at that. Now that would be very easy to, let me step that out here. Okay, let's just watch how easy this takes a flame here. Huh. I'd say I'm going to work with that some more. Maybe I'm going to have to try this with a ferro rod and see what it'll do. But this is our little can here. I figured mix that with the char cloth. That'd be another thing to carry in a firebox. Okay, our char cloth is, I would say, done. So we're going to put that off. And put this out. Hey, well, do I want to keep this running while I do this? Put a pair of gloves on, I guess, and open that, but I'm going to try little strips of cloth right here. It is hot. Of course, it just come off the fire, so see if I can. Okay, it's too hot to handle. Okay, it's just too hot. I don't have to do that another time. But anyway, that's how hard it is to make char, so I would let that cool down. But I guess I would take this up. Okay, I paused that for a minute. Here is complete combusted char cloth. And why char cloth, you might say? Let me get a little piece here. I can't strike a rod with one hand, but watch. Just sparks anything. Just we'll set it off. Char cloth is still my favorite. We might see, you can't put it out once you get it started. You just really have to tear it off. And the best thing about char cloth is a 3-power Fresnel lens or a little dollar store magnifying glass will ignite it. Put that in a good prepared tinder bundle and you're good to go. I know a Bic lighter works just as good, but it's not back to the basics of bushcraft or survival, I don't guess, although we all have Bic lighters everywhere. Anyway, that's my little video. We'll see how it turns out, and hopefully I'll get better as I do this. But this is Lee from Kentucky River Journal. Have a good one.